Well, we got a lot of yearlings already, but there's no point talking about the yearlings very much right now. Addie, turn that down a little bit, please, mate. There's no point talking about the yearlings just yet. They're all broke. They're all going now. That's not true. The ones we have at Hickory Lane and Muscle Chrome's colt, we haven't picked them up yet. We still got to pick them up. So they aren't broke, obviously, but they will be very, very soon. So let's get to the ones that are broke, have or will be racing. We'll talk about the 2-year-olds where they're at. Affection's out in the field. She'll remain out in the field for a while. Alibaba is racing right now. In fact, she's racing tonight. Her only starter today is Alibaba in Chicago, so good luck to her, everybody involved with her. Arson has been probably, I guess, our best definitely our best 2-year-old pacer, but probably one of our best 2-year-olds of the season. He has been absolutely phenomenal, and big wins, both in 50 and then the final 51. He's got the Bluegrass next Friday, and then after that we have a decision to make. If he races, Addie, down a little bit, please. He can go one of two places.
If it makes you feel better, nobody can hear it.
No, I can't. It's right in my ear. It's like Peppa Pig is just talking in my ear. Whoever that is. So Arson will either go to Corbin or the Breeders' Crown. Now, there's quite a difference between the two, I think. But that Bluegrass start, and I just told Todd, I talked to him last night in passing. I just said, well, race him in the Bluegrass. You know, if you drive him, great. I don't know who else he has to drive. He's a world-class driver. And then after that, just a little bit. And then after that, you tell me. Is he going to Corbin or is he going to the Breeders' Crown? So we'll see how that plays out. But man, what a great year we've had with this colt. Just such a sweetheart of a horse. Blanton's Blue out in the field. He did win his last start of his 2-year-old season. He'll be out. What happened? For who? They're winning 6-5?
Yeah.
Jays are trying to lose it again. What inning are they in? 7th. Can't blame Romano today. So Blanton's Blue is out. We're going to give him lots of time, bring him back in. And I expect his breeding to come around. His attitude was good at the end of the year, so he should be filled out and much bigger horse as he comes back in as a 3-year-old. So I'm eager to see him as a sophomore. Born to Dance, not really his fault. You know, he's a very timid, honestly, kind of dumb horse. And as they went to go to the gate in Delaware, it's not like you can just drag him back. He wanted to go to there a bit. I tapped him on the tail. He drifted out a bit, got out of gear like he was going to run. And at that point, now everybody to the left of me has already seen him almost get out of gear. There's no lifelines. There's nobody saying, hey, let me help you out. Go on in here. It's jug week. You're out. And that's the way it was. And I sat out there with Born to Dance, and he actually raced good. And if you watch the final, if you watch him the whole way, coming down the lane, he's coming again. And I have to actually drop down to the inside of the horse stopping in front of me to miss him. To miss him down by the wire. Did not know is jogging now in Ontario. Addie Bear. Those 4 horses that went back there are all jogging good. They all look good. I saw them in the barn the other day, yesterday. Don't talk about Bruno as the Prospect Series. I know a couple of people messaged me and said, you should race him in the Harvest. The horse is ready to go in June. The Harvest goes in November almost. Let's go a little easy on Bruno. And keep in mind also, you know, Winter Bells in the semifinals didn't belong. We raced her because it was the semifinals. And the same as Great Bet. Semifinals. Those are tough races for those horses, and it's not hard to figure it out. When you look at the horses line up on the gate, Adeline, when you look at the horses line up on the gate and they're long odds, more times than not, you're in the wrong place. And it is different with stakes, but we're not going to look for long odds and hoping that Don't Talk About Bruno can go out and race all summer and then race in the Harvest Series in November. It's a little much. You know, we'll discuss it, but it is a little much. And I know that, you know, people say, well, he only raced 6 times. But he did school, he did train, he did qualify, he did get ready to go, he did, you know, race hard all year long. He can't go forever. And with Bruno, we may need a little break here. Very soon. Drebin will be coming back in. This is horse at one of my, I would say personally, my own 2 cents, one of my most highly touted horses as a sophomore. Improvement-wise, we know some horses are going to come back great. I'm super excited to see how Drebin is going to come back as a 3-year-old. Easy in the Turns is training well now, I've been told, and she continues to train down in Ontario. She's been in, I think Dominic said 215. Does that sound about right?
She was supposed to do that yesterday. I don't know, because we left before.
Yeah, he said she's been training very, very good. Electric Line is in Ontario jogging right now, getting ready to train. Flash Fly out in the field and staying out in the field until she goes back fat. That's when she can come back. George of the Jungle will stay another 2-3 weeks out in the field, then he'll come back in and start jogging and training again. He got huge. See how big he was before he went out?
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yeah, it was getting quite rude.
Yeah. Great Bet. Had a good season. You know, somebody said, he must have been sick. He was a little sick, but he's a solid 54, 55 pacing 2-year-old. There's nothing wrong with that. Ontario is one of the toughest programs on planet Earth. And it just is. You can have a really nice horse and not make a lot of money and not get a lot done. Just because there's so many, that middle of the order is just so gristly tough in Ontario that, you get a horse like Great Bet had a good year. You had a horse like Great Bet in Ohio, Pennsylvania, who knows, you would have hung up some pretty good numbers. And it's not that the program in Ontario is just better than everywhere else. It's just tough. That middle of the order is just tough. Gypsy Hill, just so proud of the way this horse gritted out the end of his year. Had to go on Lasix, popped a curb with the curb's crowd, and then went out 1.5 mile track the way he did. Just looked great, and just shows his mental fortitude and how tough he is. He's going to be a nice horse for us at 3 also. Hallie in the Clouds, she's back in, right? Where's she at? Over at Harry's or in Dominic's group? Dominic has her. Did you see her when you were there?
I did not.
Yeah. She's back jogging now. She won't train probably for another 4 weeks, but I suspect she looks as big as a dairy cow right now, the way she likes to eat. Hallie in the Clouds, another filly that personally I think quite highly of, and I think she should have a very, very big sophomore season. Insider Trading, talk about big sophomore seasons. This filly, again, just one of those horses that showed how tough she was. From that whole ordeal on final and consolation night to, ended up being on Lasix, her first start for the Keystone Classic, and then just come out so strong. I wish we had 1 week before the final of the Keystone Classic. I think she wins it easily, but it's not the way that racing works. So, finished off her year on a very strong note, and now out in the field, relaxing. International Spy jogging in Ontario. He'll begin training in another week or two. Irresistible Sun's going to finish off his season in Dayton, Ohio, in the Buckeye final race. Really excited to race this guy, especially coming off that mile the other day in Delaware. Wow, was he good. J-Port Beach Boy, is he out yet? He won the field yet? Him and the other filly?
I saw seasons of up there, so yes.
So J-Port's out, and the other filly still has to go out, right? The other, what's her name? Yeah, McPaisley, she still has to go. So J-Port Beach Boy is now out in the field. He'll probably stay out until probably December 1st or middle of November, I think he'll stay out until. Lonely Lakewood's out in the field too, just really happy. This horse, that wasn't his fault, getting parked in the final, getting roughed up towards the half. But he did that 2-3 starts before that and then come out and raced a huge race in between. I love his competitive spirit. I love his pedigree. I love everything about him. He's going to fill out. He's going to grow up. And he's going to mentally mature. And I think he's going to be a much, much better horse for us at 3. Lover's Play is out in the field. I can't believe this filly's out in the field. When I saw her 3 or 4 weeks ago, she was skinny. And she was really sore on that leg. And, I get thinking to myself, is she really going to be able to make it back? And then we came in one day and Mike turned her out in the round pen, and she was running and playing. It was probably one of the higher points of that week for sure, was watching her play. Now she's out full time in the field playing. We won't even bring her back in until, I guess, when she should come in December, when the ground starts getting hard. We'll bring her back in at that point. But just so happy to see this filly rehabbing and coming back. It's very, very uplifting. McPaisley, she'll go to the field another week or so. She's good and healed up now. I think she'll go to the field and relax for a couple of months, and we'll bring her back in. Mel Gibswan had bled his last start. Need to put him on Lasix. I was really concerned. I'm not really concerned about the bleeding part. We know we can fix that, but I was more concerned that he was just tired at the end of the year. The way he raced, the way he flattened out, definitely looked like he bled, but it also definitely looked like he was tired. So when he said that no, he was fine, he just scoped 3 out of 5 for blood, much like Gypsy did at the end of his 2-year-old season, then it was an easy enough fix. Mel Gibbs wanted to finish out his season on Lasix. Memory and Imagination has been great, looked great in the final, finishing 4th, coming into the Bluegrass, razor sharp. Should be a lot of fun next Thursday. Amy and I are going to be down in Kentucky for next Thursday afternoon. Eric will race Memory and Imagination and Pickpocket. I'll drive those two. The day after, Luke will drive Arson in Kentucky, and then we'll make the decision on everybody. Now, Memory and Imagination will likely be heading to Corbin. He's not paid into the Breeders' Crown this year, which is fine. I'd like to see him finish off his year in a little softer company. And that's not to take anything away from Corbin, but call a spade a spade. Corbin is not going to be the Breeders' Crown. So Memory and Imagination, a good fit for being at Corbin for the end of the season. And Pickpocket, who knows? We'll see how that plays out. Both him and Arson could be headed to Indiana. We will see after the Bluegrass, and then obviously also the International Stallion for Pickpocket. Militant is done for the season. He's out in the field. I have to get him picked up. I wonder if I've got a spot for him. I haven't talked to him in a couple of days. He may not be in the field yet, but he's supposed to be, and he will be very, very soon. Mounts for All will be in this week. They said he had, what did he tell me? He said they entered him in an overnight the other day and took him out because maybe he was sick. I want to say he was sick, but he took him out for a reason. I can't remember what he told me now. No Chance in Hill. He's going to go to the field soon, I guess. We'll get Chance back out to the field soon enough. Oh Snap You went to the field yesterday. Very happy to get her out. Give her a month and then bring her back in. Paycheck Princess will get another 3-4 weeks and we'll bring her back in. Pickpocket, he's got big things ahead for him. Hopefully, we have the what's it called next week? Bluegrass. He's the Bluegrass next week. Then he has the International Stallion, and then we decide for him. Corbin potentially, or maybe the Breeders' Crown. Make no mistake, there's nobody going to make, like TCI's a killer, but Pickpocket's not lost on anybody in those divisions. He's not that far off most every horse in that division. And the Breeders' Crown, the end of the year, lots of things happen, and really happy with the way Pickpocket is coming in right now. So we'll see. Prince Charmer races in the Consolation. He'll fit the Buckeye Consolation a week from Saturday at Northfield Park. Pull the Shoes is out in the field. I'm not even going to look at her until maybe even December 15th. I want to give her lots of time. All those fillies that went out, I just want to see them come back in fat. So hopefully Jacob can get them all fattened up, have a fresh start for 2023. You guys going to pollute the planet. Punch the Clock looks awesome in the barn. Man, she looks good. Another 2 weeks on the Aqua treadmill, right? And then we're going to jog her for a month and kick her out in the field for a month. Is that the plan? Is that what we talked about? Yes. But very, very happy with the way she looks. You could never tell. If I asked you, I told you I'd give you $50 to tell me which leg she had injured, guarantee you it would be a 25% chance, because you would never be able to look at it and say, oh, it's definitely that one. They all look perfect. She looks great. My wife has done a great job with her and takes good care of her. So she'll be in, as I said, Aqua treadmill till October 1st. We'll jog her October through November 1st, and then kick her out in the field for a little while, just to chill. Although she's led a pretty chill life to date, we'll kick her out until December 1st. Purple People Eater finished off her year great. Won the Buckeye in Delaware. Looked great on the track. She's going to be a nice sophomore for us also. Ready for Landing's back in. He looks amazing. They said he's starting to be a little ornery, a little stutty. He needs to stay a little quiet in the barn, or I'm going to castrate him. I don't want to, but I will if I have to. Just a beautiful, he looks so much like Carter Michael Dio. It's unbelievable.
Who does?
Ready for Landing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see him yesterday.
I did. He looks amazing. Amazing. Really Don't Care is out in the field. Another filly I just want to see come back in fat. She had a decent season. Wasn't a great showing in her last race, but that wasn't her fault. We tried to race her in the 2-year-old race, and then she ended up in the non-winners of 2. Racing against age horses is not fun for those 2-year-olds for sure. Rito's Lady is training good, I was told, in Ontario. I think they've probably been around 25 or 30 with her. We'll check in a little bit later as we start getting closer to the races with Rito's Lady. Royal Emeralds is out in the field for, I want to give her an extended period of time out. Think about it, because I do not want her to come back in the way she finished off her year. Mentally a little rude, a little ignorant. I want to see her come back in better. A little time off might be exactly what the doctor ordered. Seasons of Love, but I changed the notation on the thing. She is actually back in now at the barn and looking good. Sedona Hill finished off her year with the best start of her life. Flying third. If I get her out, if I follow Brett down the backstretch, she's a real good second. I thought she raced raced the best race, most impressive race. I think I drove her every start, didn't I? No, Brett drove her in the final. Yeah. I've driven her almost every start, and that was her best start of her life. I thought she was awesome. Sunset Acres Girls got one or two more starts. She's finished off the year great. What a nice filly she's been. Yes, everybody, we will get a Michigan bred or two, probably one, maybe two. We did buy a Minnesota bred. A lot of people asking. I'm well aware that the sale is coming up this week. I had the sale catalog. I'll go over with Donnie again, and he'll go and scoop one up for us. Sweeney did make the Buckeye final. I didn't think he did. Thought he was going to the Consolation. Instead, he made the Buckeye final. So he, unfortunately for him, he has to tangle with Irresistible Sun, but he was exceptionally good in Delaware also. If I get him out in the last turn, I can't say, oh, I'm a winner. I think I'm a winner. I think I was a winner. Never got a chance to find out, but he was very, very good and finished up the race with his earplugs in and sharp as a tack. He's coming in to the final, the Buckeye final, sharp as a tack. So is Irresistible Sun. I would love to see those horses finish 1-2. I would take it. I'll take all the checks you give me, but I would love to see a 1-2 finish from those guys. Third and sixth looks good. I said to Debbie, make sure he doesn't get fat. Yeah, baby. When are we going to be there? We're going to be there in 29 minutes. Third and sixth, I just said, don't get him too fat. We'll train down good and look good. Debbie has him looking really, really good in Ontario. Time is on my side, was castrated. We jogged him until his incision site cleaned out, filled up, healed up, and now he's gone out to the field also. Vaquero Blue Chip was already out in the field waiting for him. That guy will be out for most of those horses will come in around December 1st, somewhere around there. Victory Blue Chip, same type of thing. Around December 1st, we'll bring him back in. Watch Your Mouth, same thing for that guy. Had a decent summer, had a couple of wins, a nice lifetime mark. He'll come back as a decent sophomore, I believe. One of the most interesting prospects of the entire season, everything that took place, when I look back and say, which horse has the most question marks around him? I think it was Widespread Panic. He showed a lot of poise and a lot of focus. Some starts, and then other times, the last start or two, the last start he blew up and looked like the horse that we sent over to Ontario that just did not look like he was focused. And then in his schooler, he was a little lackluster also, so we just decided to kick him out in the field. But Widespread Panic, just a lot of question marks swirling around this guy. I think this guy could be a really nice horse, but he has to take a step forward. I think he will, but we'll see. And Winter Bells, she took a 2-year-old mark of 56. Twice she went at 56 and looked good, but every time she got up a little bit higher, she looked rather ordinary. So I want to see a big, strong filly come in that wants to do some damage on the track. That absolutely could happen, but it's 100% up to her. So with that, that's all your 2-year-olds. Your 3-year-olds, your 4-year-olds, a short opening for everybody. Just so much on my plate this week between racing, but the Lexington sale, I am super, super laser focused on. So we'll see how that plays out this year in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'll bring you guys updates as the buckets dwindle down over the next 24, 48, 72 hours. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you had a great summer. And I hope you have an even better fall. I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you.